Good evening, everybody. We're just going to do a short presentation on celebrating Agnes Hull Prendergast, who's one of our members who's very involved in the women's suffrage campaigns. We recently named a cocktail after her named the Agnes, which is described on this placard that's also on the bar. So consider ordering that. And to tell us a little bit more about our suffragette hero at the Montauk Club is co-chair of the History Committee, Mary Brennan, who will tell us a little about Agnes on Zoom. Thanks, Mary.
Hi, everybody. Agnes Hull Prendergast, 1876 to 1963, was a Park Slope native and Woman Suffrage Party leader for Brooklyn's 10th Assembly District. An active member of St. Augustine's Parish, she joined the Montauk Club through her husband, William, in 1899. Women could not join the Montauk Club on their own at this time, but they used it nevertheless. Agnes and fellow Montauk Club Suffs, Lulu Richardson Kelby, Flora McNaughton Cranford, and Gertrude Bushby Lerming organized a luncheon at the clubhouse on February 17, 1917, to strategize a New York State referendum extending the vote to women. At the Montauk Club lunch, they discussed what they had learned from a similar referendum that had failed 2 years before, with nearly 100 women from the 10th district who subscribed to the cause. Yellow daffodils on the tables represented the suffrage tricolor of purple, white, and gold. Woman Suffrage Party activists distributed pamphlets in 26 different languages, held numerous street meetings, rallies, and parades, and collected the signatures of 1 million women who wanted to vote, a quarter of them from Brooklyn. As the referendum neared, Prendergast traveled to Washington with a delegation from New York to solicit President Woodrow Wilson's support. Upon her return, she marched up Fifth Avenue in Manhattan in the final suffrage parade before the referendum. Prendergast led 5 organizers from the 10th district, each carrying a poster with the 800 signatures they collected. On November 6, 1917, New York men voted women's suffrage into law. The referendum earned 58% of Brooklyn's voters, 40,000 more than in 1915. In the 10th Assembly District, the measure won 5,018 to 4,361. The high turnout Women's Suffrage Party organizers like Prendergast achieved in New York City won them the state by a narrow 102,293 votes. The following year, Women's Suffrage Party organizers ensured that the 43 congressmen from New York all supported votes for women nationally too. Such pressure resulted in the 19th Amendment to the US Constitution prohibiting voter discrimination by sex on May 21, 1919. When the 36th state ratified the amendment on August 18, 1920, women's suffrage became law across the United States. After that, the New York Women's Suffrage Party became a chapter of the League of Women Voters. The end.
Thank you very much, Mary. Now I'm very pleased to introduce Susan Devine, our resident actress, who is going to be reading an op-ed that Agnes Prendergast wrote for the Brooklyn Daily Eagle during the suffrage campaign.
You're here. 9 reasons why women should have the ballot. I want to vote because I know I can be of greater service to the community in which I live, to my state, to my country, with a vote than without one. Because I want to help those who are interesting themselves in promoting better government and high ideals in government by the only practical means of expression which a citizen has or may have, the ballot. Because while women's influence without the ballot might be ennobling and inspiring, the power to promote the interests of the good measures for which she stands is infinitely increased if she can back up her sentiments with a vote. Because since women's natural sphere is the home, I am interested in every question of government which in any way affects the home, and I want to register my opinion. Because since the cost of living, the price of industry, sanitary conditions, water supply, pure food, taxation, school administration, social and moral reform are all affected by, and to a great deal controlled by government. And since all these things concern women as well as men, it is unjust to exclude women from a definite expression of opinions on these questions. Because the burdens of society and of citizenship are borne either in times of peace or in times of war by women just as much as by men. And therefore, women should have a voice in determining the policies which control their destinies. Because women should learn to appreciate that the machinery of government is the channel through which public policy is put into action. And it is their moral duty and responsibility to be a real force in forming such policies as will bring about better social, industrial, economic, and humane conditions. Because I believe in the home, and because I know that all the things clean politics is reaching out to protect is summed up in that one word, home. We make war upon child labor, upon the exploitation of women's work, upon the slum and its corruption and the social evil. Why? Because they affect the home. What are they all but enemies of the home in which woman has the first and deepest interest? We need her moral backing, her moral fury when those nearest and dearest to her are in peril. Because women's suffrage is a matter of common justice, and history proves its expediency. Agnes Hull Prendergast, leader of the 10th Assembly District.
Thank you so much, Susan. Thank you all for listening, taking a moment to hear about the work that Agnes Hull Prendergast did. We thank her for that work. There's a photo of her framed down in the Fontana room, and we have the loggia lit yellow, white, and purple in honor of the Women's Suffrage Party colors all weekend. So grab an Agnes, think about it, and enjoy. Thanks everyone for participating. And vote, yes, and vote.